Hello there, Hallmark here. In today's video, I'm going to show you a really easy way to restore a block plane. This can go for any plane. I just have this block plane that I really want to fix up, clean up, get the rust off of it, and get it back working correctly. So we're going to do that in today's video. Stay tuned. Now, one of the main reasons that I really like fixing up old tools and getting tools from estate sales, auctions, yard sales is because they're really cheap. You can pick things up super cheap, and I don't know about you, but I am currently poor, so we're going to go with this way instead of like a Lee Nielsen type of way, which I would love to rather do, but hey, it is what it is. So this little guy is a simple little block plane, very simple. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but maybe we'll discover that today. It's got a little adjustment. Looks kind of like a higher grip, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, it was $1. I got this for $1, and it's not in that bad a shape. And that brings me to one very important caveat here. You can take a tool, like a vintage tool from a yard sale, and you can spend days on it, really working it over through all these different grits. You can polish it up and totally restore it and make it look as if it came off the store shelf today. But I don't feel like I am at that skill set yet, and I just basically want to make this block plane usable so I can use it out in the shop. So yeah, decide for yourself when you're doing a tool restoration. Do you want to invest all that time and money and really make it absolutely perfect? Or do you want to just clean it up, fix it up, and make it usable? And the second one is what we're going to do today. So guys, I've broken this down into 5 easy steps. And the first step is actually just to clean it really well. Well guys, off camera, I went ahead and took these parts and I rinsed them off really well with the soapy water. And then I dried them very good too. I want to make sure I keep this tool dry from here on out and make sure that I protect it from future rust. But we're going to do one more cleaning step that's very important. That's step number 2. That's the rust removal. I'm going to do a little vinegar soak for just a couple hours just to loosen some things up. And then I'll get to scrubbing and sanding. So I've got this little container here. And I'm going to try to fit everything down in here except for the wood knob. The wood knob, obviously I won't soak it. And it's actually okay. I could sand it down and kind of restain it and refinish it would look nice. But I'm okay with this. Totally fine. Like I said, I'm not looking for a showroom piece. I'm looking for a workshop piece. I'm wanting something that I can do chamfers easily and just hit little areas that I want to hit with a block plane and actually do it. Because right now I actually don't have a block plane. And when you're building your tool collection, sometimes these older tools are the perfect thing because of how cheap they are. So we're going to load all this in here. And we're going to pour over some vinegar. You can get some strong 30% vinegar from the store, but I like to use what I got, save a little money. And I like these little shallow containers too because you can get all your parts in there and this will almost cover it. Almost. That's pretty nice. So we'll let this soak for maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I'll go in, relax, play some Zelda, and then I'll come back out here and we'll continue on. Alrighty, we've got the pieces here out of the vinegar soak. And they do look cleaner. And some of the rust came off when I wiped them off. So now what I'm going to do is take the pieces and the ones that have the major rust damage on them, primarily the blade, the body. This little piece needs a little bit of love. So does this piece. And the screw right there. I'm going to give it a little work over with the steel wool. Now I know, guys, this isn't the most visually pleasing footage, so I'll try to run through this very quickly. I'll edit past it, and I'll catch back up with you. Alrighty, guys, I'm over here at the saw sharpening bench, and I've kind of got this little guy, and it cleaned up really nicely, just with the little steel wool. Now, of course, you could go better, you could do a better job, but I just need a block plane, so this is a quick one. what I want to do here is kind of test a few things. The first thing is I'm going to hold this flat and I'm going to hold it up to the light and see if there's any gaps all across it to see if it is flat. Now, a better way to do this would be with some engineering feeler gauges, and you could do this a lot better, but I'm just going to do this quickly because I'm mainly going to use this for chamfers and other small maneuvers to shape. So I'm not necessarily worried about this, but if you are, make sure you do that. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So that is good. Awesome. Another thing I'd like to check too is that that is not good. Let me check it on the other side. That is not good. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to look at that because, and I'm not gonna use this on a shooting board or anything, but it would be much better if the sides were square to the bottom, just for operations to make it better. This will be a handheld tool for me. Like I said, chamfers and small things, so I'm not worried about that either. But if you were doing like a number 4 or a 5.5 or anything like that, where you might be using it on a shooting board, I would recommend that you make sure that that is square. But I may mess with this later after I get it put back together and go to using it. I may try to bend these walls and see what I can do because you can actually see it. Well, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but those side walls are like flaring and they're not square. Now that may have been like that from the manufacturer because the way I'm looking at this looks like just a cheaper block plane, probably used in construction work, I'm sure. So there's that. Look out for that on your plane. So now what I'm going to do, I've got some of this 3-in-1 machine oil, and I'm just going to kind of lightly, very lightly coat all of these pieces with my finger brushes here, just to make sure that everything's covered and that I don't have to worry about it rusting further. Now I'm just coating the blade with a little bit of that oil too. Careful not to cut myself. And on the edges, we just want to make sure that this stuff doesn't rust any further. Now I wish I had the good old, what was it, Johnson's, the good stuff. But I started woodworking right about the time they took this off the market. So I don't get that, sadly. This little knob here, I'm going to put a little bit of paste wax on it just to shine it up really nicely. Protect it from cracking. And here on the plain body, I'm going to get a little bit of this paste wax all over it. For some protection, it'll help it slide better on the wood too, which is kind of nice. I want to get every little part that could rust, including that in there. Alrighty guys, I've got this set up in the Veritas honing guide, which if you're not familiar with it, I've got a full review on that. I'll post the video up top for you. But we're basically going to start on the 400 diamond, and I'm going to use this invisible glass. A little bit of a Paul Sellers thing, I guess. And I'm going to start polishing this and grinding it to get it to a 25-degree bevel, and then we'll go in for the 30-degree micro bevel. That was pretty good. Pretty neat. And back to the table for the final reassembly. Buff off the rest of that. Looks pretty nice. Anyway, we'll screw him back on there. Alrighty guys, here we go. We're going to put the lever cap on here. And you can see that that does really nothing. So we need to tighten this on down a few spins. Okay, that's holding it very nicely. All right, let's see how we did. Let's see if we've got anything on this guy. Okay, not taking anything off. I'm in advance. Alrighty, let's go for a chamfer. Man, that is taking whisper thin shavings off that thing. Look at there. Isn't that cool? Well, guys, there you go. For a couple bucks and maybe an hour or two of work, you can bring a tool back. Now, this isn't the most pristine renovation. This isn't some amazing, new off the shelf kind of thing, but it does get it cleaned up, sharpened up, and doing some beautiful chamfers and things for me. So I'm excited. I'll continue messing with it. I'll try to see what I can do about the it being at a square and just keep on goofing. This will be something that I learned from. Guys, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe, I highly recommend it. Got a lot of good content coming out, and I want you to be a part of it. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to go mess with this.